Hey guys, I've just ran out of audio books to listen to in the car, and I couldn't find anything. You're asking me, what's this got to do with INFJ Born or created? I chucked INFJ in as a search into Audible, and I wasn't expecting to see anything, to be honest. I've said before on some of me episodes there that to some extent I think the fact that you say INFJs are the rarest personality type, and especially INFJ males, and then you can you break that down into the Heyoka thing and the Sigma INFJ, and it starts to be the old what's in the bag. People want what they can't have, or want what is rare, or what is, like in Japan, people just line up in the longest lines. They don't even know what they're lining up for, but it must be good because other people are doing it. Suckers, that mob mentality stuff. It's, and I wouldn't think that INFJs would fall for that too much. Real INFJs. So when I was scrolling down this endless list of INFJ books, which one looked really interesting, something about the INFJ Scam, and this fella says, this is a little bit of a explanation of what the book's going to be about. It was sort of saying, just sort of a little bit what I said there, that the INFJs are the real INFJs. Probably going to be pissed off because there's the fake ones coming in and just joining the picture and getting in on it and pretending to be INFJ. I don't know. He could probably articulate it a lot better than I can. But the book was 8 minutes and it had no reviews, and I think, hang on, I'm not going to waste an Audible credit on 8 minutes. It wouldn't even get me to my next stop. But I might look them up and see if I can get it, get the information for free from somewhere else. Just don't feel that 8 minutes is worth a full credit of $15 or something. But there was a whole bunch of other ones there, and one of the things I'm trying to remember now out loud. I'm trying to remember. Hope I'm not wasting your time. One of the things was about lifelong purpose. In one of the other books, there's another book there with 18 reviews, and it looked like it was quite good. 101 something. It looked interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but just reading through it was talking about the lifelong sense of purpose that INFJs have, and it's like, oh yeah, I can talk about that because it doesn't matter, like I didn't have kids, and it wasn't a thing for me to feel like I wanted to have kids. Like I was saying there, I sort of felt that the cycle should be stopped. I just knew that some of my mother's juice will flow off into me, and I knew at 3 years old, and I've said this before, excuse the language, actually I might not have said it like this. I might have said I knew when I was 3 years old, I knew I had the choice, and I lay awake at night for like 3 months, it felt like, deciding whether I was going to be good or evil. So I knew I had it in me, and at a couple of trigger pushes, I know it could come at any stage. I work really hard my whole life to keep it all in, to the stage that I might have said before, I don't have fights. I hate confrontation, but I don't have physical fights. Try not to. because I've seen that switch happen in me. I'm a whole lot of brothers and stuff like that, and I'm the oldest, but still stuff can happen, and you get that little bit of anger for a second, and you go and do something. And like I said before, when I was 2 or something like that, was quite famous for having tantrums and smashing everything in my room, and got locked in there until I calmed down. Anyway, whether you want to call it a monster, it's just that rage emotion or something like that, or something can easily come out, and I'm not too, on my mother's side especially, it turns out on my father's side as well, I'm not too far away from what you would consider to be indigenous people, Maoris, warrior society. A couple of 100 years ago, they were eating each other's chiefs and stealing each other's women and children, and eating them or taking them, whatever they want to do, and it was just all tribalism and stuff like this. So you can be slighted. I can go to yes. Has anyone seen that movie, Once Were Warriors? There's no. It's just a true story. Like, it's you could go to any old millions of families in New Zealand, and there's no fiction in that. That's real. All of those things happened to lots of families, and it was scary shit. And the point that I was making is that with that tribalism sort of thing being so recently associated, you can just switch to anger. You can be having a great party, the guitars are playing, jing-a-jack-a, 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 jing-a-jack. That's how the Maoris play their guitars. That's how they can all do it, just automatically. Everyone's having a great time. Someone walks past, eye contact is made, the appropriate difference is not perceived. That whole mood of happy, jovial, everyone's having fun, instantly goes to, and they do it very well in the movie, it instantly goes to, there's a sound. It doesn't really get made, but when they make it in the movie, that is the sound of the emotion. It's like, ooh. And everybody knows that something's about to happen. What happens in an instant has a split second to be able to be fixed, or it's just all on, and there's people smashing guitars and swinging from the roof, and there's just mayhem, and it's everyone, women and children fighting, everyone's fighting for their tribe or their piece of their tribe. They're all fighting against each other, and I'm from that, so I've always tried to keep that in the box, keep that away, because it doesn't seem to be very grown up for an INFJ to act like that, in my mind. So what I saw in that book was this thing about a sense of purpose. Am I getting off subject? I always do this. I have all these ideas, and I try to grab them and try to work them up. But so, a sense of purpose. I've always had that. I've had this sense of purpose that even though if I'm not going to have kids or stuff, some reason, something my grandmother said, my mother's mother said, I don't know, she was a bit spooky. She did a bit of spiritualist sort of stuff. And it's funny, you could be 8 or 7 or 8 or something like that, and someone like that says, sort of read your tea leaves or something like that and say, oh, you're gonna die when you're 32 or something, What grandmother does that shit? And then you're thinking, what's that? I'm gonna die when I'm 32? Or will it be 2032? Or, there's no point putting down roots or anything because I'm going to die. Like, what grandmother does that stuff? It's to someone that's a little bit impressionable. I mean, as a young INFJ, I guess I could be quite naive. I wanted to see everything, believe everything, or not so much that, but anyway, it's a bit of darkness from my mother's mother, and there was all this tapu stuff, which is some Maori curse stuff, which is to do with greenstone and like jade greenstone. It's all if it's stolen, it's all this. There's all these curses that can be put on stuff, and there's all this sort of shit going on. And sometimes with that superstitious stuff, just the fact that it gets spoken, sometimes there's this little seed of doubt or something like that. But in spite of all of that, I've had this sense of purpose for my life. I've always invested in my life, skills and thinking and all that sort of stuff. I go through a whole bunch of Audible books, and half of them are about some sort of variation on psychology, or sometimes I think some self-help books can be a bit of a scam and stuff like that, and that's why I was a bit scared to go into the Audible library and look up INFJ, because I think, oh, here we go, this is just going down a rabbit hole. So anyway, there's that. And so it was interesting that it was said that INFJs can have a real sense of purpose in life. I just saw that and I thought, yeah, that's me. I've always had that. And I can tie that into being INFJ born or created, so I can make a video about it. It sounds like I'm finding one in, but I'm not really. I'm finding threads to talk up stuff, to talk it out and see what I think. And you might be interested, I don't know. But there is some sense of INFJ scam that it feels like this INFJ thing's been milked a bit, and here I am making a YouTube series about it. I feel like for what I'm doing, it's authentic though, because I'm talking about myself and I'm putting it out there, and I'm not so much worried, but I'm not so much worried, but it's sort of, I guess it becomes content for people that are making INFJ videos. I don't know. Like I say, I don't really know why I'm doing this, but here I am, I'm doing it. So today, there's one other thing I was just listening to in another book called Guitar Zero. It's towards the end of it, actually. I was like 20 minutes, half an hour from the back of it. There's Hedonism. It's a guitar book, but it's got a whole lot of psychology in there. Hedonism, which is about pleasing yourself in the moment. And there's a new thing called eudaimonia. I hope I got that right. Eudaimonia instead of hedonism. Yeah. Eudaimonia. And it's a new study. It's a new word, probably. Eudaimonia. And it's about the ability or the thinking about and doing things that build towards your long-term happiness, not your right now happiness. If I think about it, I'll see if I can Google it and stick the word and maybe the definition of it at the end of this. But eudaimonia, and it sounded good because it's sort of like a little bit like what I've done with my life. I've always built on as a foundation to try and make myself better and all those people around me, and work hard at stuff. I don't mind hard work. I don't mind putting the effort in. Sometimes I put stuff off because of perfectionism, sort of cop-outs, but hey. So, yeah, I'll look that up, stick that on the end there. I don't know if I'll talk about that one again. Yeah, it might open it up. It might become something. So, here, eudaimonia. Okay, that's the word for today. Today's episode is brought to you by eudaimonia. Okay, I'm out.